Welcome back. I'm your host, Darnell Jackson. In this crypto report, we're going to be talking about the DeFi compound debacle. But first, make sure you subscribe to your favorite channel on YouTube, Darnell Jackson Crypto. Shout out to all the subscribers. Okay, we're talking about the big news in DeFi right now, which is not positive. We're talking about Compound. If you're not up on Compound, Compound has been one of my favorite cryptocurrencies. Let me just jump over to it real quick. Compound has been one of my favorite cryptocurrencies. You can learn more about it at compound.finance. It has been on fire. It is just, it's just one of my favorite coins. You can't understand what it is by reading this definition because it is worded horribly. So even reading this will probably confuse you even more. Compound is an ERC-20 asset that empowers community governance of the Compound protocol. Comp token holders and their delegates debate, propose, and vote on all changes to the protocol. As you'll see, they didn't do a good job of that. In this report, you'll see they did a poor job of that by placing comp directly into the hands of users and applications. An increasingly large ecosystem will be able to upgrade the protocol and will be incentivized to collectively steward the protocol in the future with good governance. Worded like it's very complicated, but in the end did nothing actually. All of that overworded jargon foolishness. Let's jump to the story that actually happened. DeFi platform mistakenly sends 89 million CEO begs for return. All right. So this article right here on Bloomberg by Joe Light, he's talking about this debacle, the DeFi debacle. A bug in a recent update of decentralized finance platform Compound sent users nearly 90 million worth of cryptocurrency in error, leaving the CEO begging users to voluntarily send it back. Now let me tell you, I recently went to Costco, shout out to Costco, and I purchased a piece of jewelry, and they had it labeled for one price, and actually the price was about half of what it really was supposed to be, the real cost of the item. Well, guess what? Costco sold the item to me for the price they erroneously marked it. So what should Compound do in this case? Compound, through their own error, sent this money. So what should they do? They should let their users just keep the money. Right? Here's more on this. The glitch is a black eye for cryptocurrency platforms hoping to upend the traditional finance system. DeFi platforms don't have banks or other middlemen administering funds. Instead, they rely on smart contracts stuck between users that are governed completely by computer code. Proponents say DeFi is more egalitarian in cutting out traditional firms, often using the mantra, code is law. But guess what? Who writes the code? Shout out to the geeks of the world. Who writes the computer code? So now we're realizing that you cannot get the human touch off of its creations. So humans make mistakes. Humans make code. Code makes mistakes. So what did the code do? The code did the same thing that humans do. Are you up on what humans have done? Let's jump over to a story that has not been included in this conversation. Earlier this year, it was Citibank, if you remember, that made headlines due to their error. They actually had to go before a judge, and they found out that nope, they couldn't get their money back after their mistake. This on CNN Business. After committing one of the biggest blunders in banking history, Citibank won't be allowed to recover almost $500 million it accidentally wired to Revlon's lenders, a U.S. district court ruled. Citibank was acting as Revlon's loan agent. They meant to send about $8 million in interest payments to the cosmetic company's lenders. Instead, Citibank accidentally wired almost 100 times that amount, including $175 million to a hedge fund. In all, Citi accidentally sent $900 million to Revlon's lenders. Some lenders did return the money, but others did not. Citibank filed a lawsuit in August seeking the return of its funds, but it has still not recovered $500 million from 10 investment advisory firms after the accidental transfer. All right? So when that happens, everybody says, you know what? We got to get the humans out of this thing because they're the ones that's messing everything up. We need to get rid of the humans. We need something better. We need DeFi. So enter people like Compound and enter companies or entities like Compound and the people behind them, like Robert Leshner. He's the CEO of Compound. And he's got this tweet talking about his disaster. He says a few hours ago, Proposal 62 went into effect, updating the comptroller contract, which distributes comp to users of the protocol. The new comptroller contract contains bug, causing some users to receive far too much comp. Does it contain? Did it contain a bug or did it contain code? It didn't contain a bug. It contained code. And like you said, code is law, Robert. So what should Robert do? Like I told you, when Costco made a human error and they had one of their associates put the wrong price on a piece of jewelry I bought, Costco ate their error and sold the item for what it was marked at. Same thing you should do, Compound. But no, you don't want to do that. You want to make your black eye even worse, which forces me to ask the question, what is the Compound ROI for the black eye on DeFi? So let's jump over here and see how we can have a problem get even worse. So now, here's the guy at Compound. First he's saying there's a problem. Then he goes and turns into threats. Now he's saying, hey, if you received a large incorrect amount of comp from the Compound protocol error, please return it to the Compound time lock. And he puts an address. He says, keep 10% as a white hat. So he's telling you, he said, otherwise, it's being reported as income to the IRS, and most of you are doxxed. Now, this set off alarms in the crypto industry because this goes against the total premise of what crypto is all about. And it also just shows an individual that's not willing to just take it on the chin when they make a mistake. Okay? Which actually, I think would have left them in a better place. Had Compound just 8 to 90 million, come out, said they 8 to 90 million, come out, said they let the people keep the money, they probably would have made it back in deposits. But instead, he comes out here making threats to dox people to the IRS. He first reacted, he wanted to apologize. Remember, everything you do can't be covered by an apology. So now he's coming over here explaining. Let's read some of the other responses. This is what these promise coins get you: accidental inflation and dilution, or being doxxed to the IRS. So here's a hex fan jumping in there. Shout out to Lark Davis, he's on my list of favorite crypto YouTubers. He's on my playlist, so I'll be launching that soon. Post in these comments your favorite crypto YouTuber, by the way. So Lark responds, he says, threatening to dox and report people is a pretty damn bad strategy, dude. Makes people more likely to keep it and makes money a lot less likely to come into your platform in the future. Correct. And I'm sad because I've always liked comp, but I can't buy them now. And here's a guy that says, just because of that tweet, I'd be donating mine less 10% to charity. And here's the actual best, the best response to this tweet. Zondo here. He's talking about exactly what the Compound CEO was doing right before he published that tweet. Now, one of the things I want to mention to you, you're dealing with a double goof situation right now. The Compound CEO, he goofed already because they published this code without a thorough examination. So here it is. You had code that actually that had the ability to distribute up to $90 million of value from your entity. And you did not have a systematic way of examining that code to make sure that that was an impossibility. That is a total failure. So then you have a total failure from a technology standpoint. So then you go in and have a total failure from a leadership standpoint. So now here you go. You could have spoken with people in your organization about what would be the best response, but nope, you get those Twitter thumbs. And I'm going to say something. I bet you Robert Leshner uses an iPhone. I'm going to say that. I bet you he uses an iPhone. Grabs that iPhone, starts pumping his thumbs. Next thing you know, he's talking about threatening people. He's on here drunk texting. He's talking about he's gonna dox you to the IRS. How bad do y'all need that money? You know, you got an organization that's worth how much is, let's check out Compound real quick. Compound has a market cap over $1 billion. You got 200 million circulating in 24 hours. So it sounds like you took a hit of about 90 million. You should have been able to eat that. This is comp. Checking this out on Coin Market Cap. Should have been able to eat that. But instead, you're like, no, I'm going to threaten you guys. And then I'm going to apologize. Here's his apology. Robert Leshner. I'm trying to do anything I can to help the community get some of its comp back. And this was a boneheaded tweet approach. That's on me. Luckily, the community is much bigger and smarter than just me. I appreciate your ridicule and support. It might be too little too late, Robert. But I wanted to bring this to your attention. But let me add one piece to this conversation that has not been discussed. You may not be aware, but earlier this year, a similar story hit the news when Citibank became the biggest joke in finance when the news hit that they could not get 500 million back that it wired by mistake. This reported by CNN Business. After committing one of the biggest blunders in banking history, Citibank won't be allowed to recover the almost $500 million it accidentally wired to Revlon's lenders, a U.S. District Court judge ruled. Citibank was acting as Revlon's loan agent, and they meant to send about $8 million in interest payments to the cosmetic company's lenders. Instead, Citibank accidentally wired almost 100 times that amount, including $175 million to a hedge fund. In all, Citi accidentally sent 900 million to Revlon's lenders. Some lenders did return the money, but others did not. Citibank filed a lawsuit in August seeking return of the funds, but it has still not received 500 million from the 10 investment advisory firms after the accidental transfer. So that tells you what happens when humans are involved and humans make mistakes. And this is what happens when humans are involved and humans make mistakes. So have we made very much progress? It's hard to tell at this point. Post in the comments your view on this story. Did you hear about the Citi? Is this the first time you've heard about the Citi story? What is your take on Compound? What is your take on DeFi? Are you going to be a little bit hesitant on which DeFi platforms you use? Will you still use Comp? At this point in time, I want to thank you for watching this video and liking it. If you didn't like this video, make sure you check out my other videos, daily crypto reports. I'm sure you'll like many of these videos. Watch like 100 videos. And if you don't like any of the videos, just share every video you watched with somebody who will. Until tomorrow, 1.